There you go. So a very good morning to you all. Um, Welcome to the call again. Once again this morning. We are in the months where we are trying to encourage everybody to sponsor, because sponsoring gives us the foundation for our business. It's very, very important that we learn how to sponsor. Last week, getting into communication and sharing, we're talking about why we should be sponsoring. Okay. Some of the things that I want to emphasize in the recap is sponsoring does not mean paying for people. Okay, I know that's what the English literal meaning means, but it does not mean paying for people. Very important. It's basically the process of registering people into the company. We also found out last week that we do not sponsor for people to help us. You know, when you sponsor someone, it's not because you are looking for them helping you, basically for selfish reasons. Say you want them to lead you to a certain audience, or you want them to lead you to a certain category of people. No, but rather we sponsor so that we can actually be able to help people. It is us who help the people that we have sponsored. If the person that we are sponsoring does not have a need, you're going to find it extremely difficult for you conducting and building a business you want to see. We also found out it is through helping other people that we get to achieve our dreams, something that is very religious, biblical. I'm sure it's also there in the Quran. So in sponsoring, we're looking at helping other people. And if we help those other people with sponsor, we're able to build a business that is going to outlast us, a business that is going to continue existing even without us. We also learned last week that we do not prejudge, that we should talk to everybody, but our main focus should be put on your level and above. Don't spend so much time looking continuously for the people that are below your level, which is basically if you're a student, you know, uh, don't go looking so much for people that are not students. Look at students and above, your lecturers, your fellow students, and other professionals in your industry. Well, we also said that we are looking for people with a need, not necessarily people that are needy. People that are needy are basically people who are always begging and looking to see how they can be helped out of a certain situation. But people with a need are ready to help themselves as much as they need some assistance to help them build what we want them to build. Then we also say do not take it personally if the person you talk to does not come along. That is totally fine. It happens everywhere in all markets. Don't take it personal. And then we also said as we talk, we need to learn how to follow up on the people we talk to. And then please note, God's timing is not your timing. Everybody has their time, and they'll probably see the importance of what you're sharing with them at the time they have to. Okay. Let me see. Again, in the recap, we said that we need to sponsor very many people and fast. That's basically Jan to March. Out of the people we are sponsoring, we're looking at least 20 people sponsored. Out of the people we are sponsoring, we're saying identify 5 serious people that you can actually take on as business builders. Then we're also saying take time to teach the business builders how to sponsor. Help them become directors between April and August of this year by teaching them. The only way you can help another person in this business, by the way, is by teaching them the skills that you've acquired. Okay? And we also said that we should focus on teaching the business builders how to teach and sponsor and not how to sell necessarily. So, ladies and gentlemen, the act of selling comes out of an effort to sponsor. The people that we fail to register and the company eventually become customers to us. We eventually sell to them. So when we go out there, we go out there with the intention of teaching and sponsoring or sponsoring and teaching, and not necessarily with the intention of selling. And that's what we need to be teaching the people we have sponsored. We need to help them build a large, successful new life business where people are using the products in their network. And to truly duplicate yourself, you have to go at least 5 levels deep, which basically means you teach, say, Janet, that you've sponsored, uh, how to teach Amim, who is next in line, how to teach Jesse, how to teach George, how to sponsor Paul. So you go teaching the next person how to teach the next person, how to teach the next person, how to teach the next person to sponsor the other person. You know, going 5 deep is very important because it helps you build a very steady and stable business. Okay, now moving on to today's topic, how to sponsor. So sponsoring is a process. That's the first thing I need you to appreciate. It's not a quick fix. It's not an instant thing. It's a process. And why is it a process? Because in the kind of business that we do, people buy from us because they have a relationship with us. They don't just buy from us simply because they have seen us. There has to be a relationship that has been built. But you see, one of the things I find in this business that's very interesting are the 3 kinds of people that we do come across. Okay, just a moment. Let me take off my video. Okay, so we have 3 kinds of people that we are we meet out there. Okay, number 1, and maybe I was actually one of these people when I started as a poser. We have people we call posers. So what posers do, they make a mental list of 3 or 4 or 5 people that will probably think they'll sponsor, and then their whole future is based upon the response of those few people. I remember when I started, I had 5 people in my head who I thought were going to do this business. And guess what? I was lucky enough that 2 out of the 5 actually did start. Yeah, but even the second person who started the business really started to help me out of respect that I was their friend, but they really didn't start for themselves. So a very common habit we all have as distributors when we start out in the business is we begin as posers. We are relying on our mental list, the list we have in our heads of about 5 people, and we are thinking that those 5 people we have in our heads are actually going to look at what we have to offer them in terms of what New Life offers, and we are thinking they're going to be a part of the team we're going to work with. I want to bring it to your attention, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. Of course, some people go on, and I remember going on, and I was totally convinced that I needed to make a written list of people. Okay. Guess what? We have amateurs who make a written list of people. Then they charge out with excitement, but not a lot of skill, and begin to prospect. You know, those are the ones we call amateurs. So they charge out, and they don't even tell you they're going out. They just go out and start prospecting. They're talking to this one, they're talking to that one, they're talking to that one. Good enough, they're taking the people they're talking to from the list. But the biggest fear that amateurs have is that they will run out of people to talk to. And it never occurs to the amateurs that finding quality people to prospect is a skill. So amateurs are the kind of people that just basically make a list and charge out to go and begin prospecting. I did that quite a bit until I realized my names were running out. And then the third category of people is the one that I wish for all of you to eventually become. And those are the professionals in the kind of industry we are in, where we approach finding people to talk to as one of our core skills. It is part of our work to find new people. They are not interested in luck. You know, the posers and amateurs are hoping, and as talking to people, they're hoping that, oh God, I hope this person actually likes it. There is some kind of, of luck they are relying on. Yeah, but when you're looking at it being a professional, what happens is that you make a written list of names and you decide never to stop adding to that list of names and contacting the people on that list. You know, every other time I was in a patch and Arua, I met a couple of people. I think over the weekend I added about 2 names onto my list. You know, wherever you go, you make it a habit of finding new people, meeting new people, having a conversation with them, building a relationship with them, and then eventually adding those people onto the list. So I hope and pray that as we get into this space of how to sponsor, we work towards becoming professionals. Because the many of us that are posers, oftentimes we kind of drop off along the way because the few people we talk to that never give us a good response eventually take us with them and we give up on what we are supposed to be pursuing when it comes to our goals. Remember, I told you that we have to focus on at least talking to 2 people every single day for the next 5 months if you want to see yourself earning at least an additional $500. It's that's what it is. It's what it is. And where do those people come from? They come from a list of names. So let's go on to the list of names. So the basic process of sponsoring, by the way, is we start with the list of names. And today we're just going to be looking at the people you know. That's basically what we're looking at today. Next week, we shall look at the people you meet, how to meet people, and how to get into spaces that allow you to meet people. Okay, it's important. We'll be looking at that next week. But today we're going to look at the people we know. We're looking at the people that you already know in your life. We shall also look at how you contact and invite the people that are on your list for a one-on-one. Contacting is inviting people for a one-on-one. Then we shall be looking at the one-on-one session that takes place at the presentation, actually. And then we shall look at the exposure, the follow-up, and the close. Further on. The close, exposure, follow-up, all those things we shall be looking at each and every one of them. So today, moving on to building your list of names. It's important that you make it as comprehensive as possible. When you're building your list of names, every person you can think of needs to get onto that list. It doesn't matter if you think they are a prospect or not. It doesn't matter if you think they're going to use the products or not. Your job is to just expose them to the products that you've got. Simple. Your job is to expose them to the solutions that you've got. Buy the products as solutions to problems in people's lives. So your job is to expose them to that. So whether they are negative, put them on the list. Everyone goes onto the list. If you hate them, put them on your list. If they're your best friends, put them on your list. If they have said, I'll never be involved in network marketing, put them on your list. Put them on your list. Because your purpose is to show them the solutions that you've got. If they're 98 years old, put them on the list because they know other people that are actually going to ensure that they use the products. They may not necessarily do the business at 98 years old, but guess what? They know people around them that are going to need what you have to offer as a solution from your life. If they're 18 years old, put them on the list. So basically, everyone goes onto the list. List all the people you know in your life. And I'm going to emphasize this today, ladies and gentlemen. You already know enough people to build you a business, earn you $6,000 a month. First, we're hitting $1,000. We're hitting 3.8 million change per month. That's like a given. You already enough. It's like it's obvious. It's already with you. It's a gift. It's a blessing you already have. You probably have not utilized it, but you already know enough people in your life to already get you to a point where you're earning $1,000 every single month. And I'll also tell you that you know enough people in your life to get you to a point where you're going to earn, as a present team member, $6,000 every single month. So all you have to do is to list all the people you know in your life. Do not prejudge. Write down the members of your own family to start with. Who they know, the people they know, the relatives that you've got in your life, your brothers, friends. I mean, you know so many people. Write the lists that you already have in your phone book. Many of us have a habit of keeping our lists in the phone book. But I want to encourage you, Every time the month starts, get your list out from that phone book, write it down, because you see, you want to keep numbers of the people that you are actually meeting and you're doing one-on-one with. And you won't do that if you're keeping that list in the book. You need to know that I talked to this person, he was able to understand what solutions New Life has, and I did it. I got done with them. I was able to sow my seed in that direction. Okay? Look at the emails, look at your wedding invitation list if you've been married before, or if you got married. Look at your social media lists as well. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp groups that you're in. All those are very good lists for you to add onto your name. Your service providers, um, every one of them, beginning with the guy you call your police guy, your border guy, your doctor, your accountant. We all have our something, our mobile money guy, our bank teller. We have kind of accustomed ourselves into getting our some. What is very important is all those people, do not prejudge. Put all of them on the list. The people you go with to the church or the mosque, the people you are with in that space, your neighbors, add them to the list. Every single one of them. Go back and think about it. Who lives in a different country? Who lives in a different city? Who lives in Kabali? Who lives in Soroti? Who lives in Gulu? Think about it. All those people think are living in a different city or country that you already know. Add them onto the list. Every organization you have been involved in, every group you've ever been part of, everything you've ever done, add them onto the list. I mean, your primary school, if you can possibly remember your your nursery school, your primary school, your secondary school, um, what else? Your university, where you did your masters, the people you've worked with in the past, the first job you had, the second job you had, the third job you had, all those people, as they come to know what you do, and as they come to know what New Life has to offer as a solution, I can guarantee you that you will have enough people to talk to that are going to get you to a point where you're earning at least $1,000 every month. Because we're looking for people to use our products. And the more people you come to expose the products to, the more the company is going to appreciate you with the commission that is going to pay you for having gotten more people to use our products. So think about your friends and who they know. All those are part of the list. Think about the relationships in your life. Who do they know? Add them to the list. Who does your father know? Who does your mother know? Who does your brother know? Who does your sister know? Who does your uncle know? Add all those guys to the list. All of these connections will become apparent to you as you make your list and more comprehensive. Think about everything and everyone. If you do this right, it will end up being hundreds and hundreds and maybe even thousands of people. All right? But ideally, you're thinking about talking to each and every single person that God has blessed you with in your life to know. And that's one of the biggest resources we do, because people ask, Andrew, what does it take to build this business? Honestly speaking, I don't know whether the ability to talk is already a gift from God. The fact that you've had an opportunity to meet people throughout your life is already a gift from God. There's hardly anyone that has lived a life where they have not met anybody in life. And you, fortunately, have met people in your life. You even know what they do. You even know where they are. And I'm saying, even if they're enemies, even if they're your friends, even if they're best friends, just tell them. Tell them what New Life has to offer. You never know. You share with someone an opportunity like New Life, and you show them what solutions they have. Last week, I was with a gentleman whose uncle had pressure that was getting to about 180, 187. And I was just thinking to myself, what have I not told this gentleman? Now, this gentleman is an Airtel service provider, was an Airtel service provider. I just told myself, just tell him, never know. Just tell him, never know. He could need an opportunity like this network. And I just told him. And just right next to him, he had a relative, a very close person, who is basically been bedridden since Christmas, that has his pressure up as high as 180 something. And I was thinking to myself, what if I had not talked? So I want to encourage you You put every person on the list. And that's what it takes to sponsor, really. And then getting out and beginning to talk to those people and sharing with them everything. So talk to every person you meet, get their contact information, and find a creative way to stay in touch. So if you meet someone, um, within the next 48 hours, keep in touch. Keep in touch. Please understand. Do not assault people with your pitch the moment you introduce yourself. I've seen that people say, my name is Andrew Bugembe. I'm part of New Life. I'd like you to. Now, it's okay if that's what works for you. But guess what? Sometimes people get irritated when all you want from them is what you're selling. You want to get money from them. You want to sell something to them. In New Life, it's important that you first create a relationship. Some people in New Life make a mistake and, they just keep on adding names, but they never develop the connection. They never develop the trust. They never develop the relationship. You need to understand that if you're going to actually build a solid business, you're going to have to build a relationship. You're going to have to become friends of different people. Get to know them before you can actually introduce. People buy from friends, not necessarily from strangers. So I don't know what is hard in that. But one thing I know is that you already have enough people in your life to take you to diamond. For you to become a diamond director, you need 10 serious people around you with whom you're going to build the market with. And those 10 serious people in a population that is what? Here in Uganda, 45, maybe going to 50 million shillings. I think the last time I checked in Tanzania, I don't even remember. I think it was 140 million. Kenya is about 70 million people. We're looking at a whole market. And if you're in Kenya, please know that your market is cut across Uganda and Kenya and Tanzania as well. If you're in Africa, actually, just know the market is all across Africa. If you can be able to connect with someone in Namibia, if you can be able to connect with someone in Zambia, if you can be able to connect with someone in South Africa, someone in Nigeria, someone in Benin, someone in Ghana, at the end of the day, if you get them to use and appreciate what New Life solutions that we have, then you're going to be able to get people starting to use the products. We are looking for product users. That's why we need people to talk to, and the people know other people. Actually, let me just stop this sharing and I show you something very interesting. I have a memory jogger here. If you look at that, list right now, what are you seeing? Let me see. What are you seeing? You're looking at members of your own family, your father and mother, your grandparents, your brothers and sisters, your nieces and nephews, your father, your mother, your children, your aunties and uncles, cousins. All those are people that know other people that you know. Okay? You're looking at the organizations you've been to. Some of us are part of Rotary organizations. You're part of, I don't know, mission societies. You're part of churches. You're looking at all the list of acquaintances that are already available. Beginning with the people you send out different cards, people you're with at church, at the mosque, your fellow employees, and the people they know. You're looking at the people who are decision makers, the business owners, the office managers, the human resource directors that you know in your life. Okay. What else? You're looking at those you have been associated with in the past, your schoolmates, the people in your hometown. Some of us have come from this district to this district to that district, to this country, to that country, to that country. All that is a generation of people that you already know, that all you have to do is establish a contact, get a relationship, and guess what? Make time, 30 minutes, and just tell them what you have to offer as far as your life is concerned. Because you never know at what point they are in their life that actually need you. Then you're looking at those people you do business with, the doctors, the lawyers, the barber, the managers, the gas station attendant, the dry cleaner guy, the waiters, the jewelers, the beauticians. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. The people you know who are also into direct sales, the insurance people. Do you know anyone associated with any of the following areas? Accounting, acting, advertising, and so on. The list is endless. The list is endless, guys. The list is just there's just too many people out there that we can be able to reach out to and that we can be able to work with And if we offer them our solutions, guess what? We are going to get there. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to stop here, but I just want to encourage everybody to learn how to build a list of names. Learn how to build your list of names, because it is from your list of names that you're going to draw your success. The company, Neolife, wants us to reach out to people and tell them what Neolife has to offer. That's what they're willing to pay you for. There's something just said some time back, and it was so powerful. So many people out there are looking for jobs, and they're not jobs, but there's a lot of work. Can you imagine the work that is involved in just your life, in just telling the people around you what New Life has to offer as a solution to some of their potential problems? That is the work. Now, so many Ugandans out here, or let me say Africans, because I'm on a platform that has a lot of Africans. A lot of Africans out there are looking for jobs, or where they're going to go and sit and get paid salaries. And yet the work, just the work they have in their life, is amazing when it comes to New Life. Just sitting down and just creating that list and coming up with those people and saying, you know what, I'm going to dedicate myself and my time every single day. I'm going to meet 2 people. Which 2 people I am going to tell about what New Life has to offer? And that is the work that New Life is ready to pay you for. And guess what? You do this continuously. I say it again and again and again. I guarantee you, in a space of 5 to 6 months, with the discipline of being at least 2 people every single day, you'll be earning not less than $500. In a space of a year, you'll definitely get to hit the $1,000 mark. You'll be earning at least 3.8 million shillings every single month. Why? Because you're doing the work. You are doing the work. So allow me to stop here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for this morning. My prayer is that you actually appreciate